Hi there, and welcome to another bullet journal video with me. Like I said before, I did a decent amount of bullet journaling in 2020 and filmed it, and then just never got around to editing and uploading it. So I'm trying to go through and put together some of those older videos now, so at least they get seen, and if anyone's interested in the themes that I use or the layouts, you have this available. Plus, I filmed it, I might as well edit it and post it. So this very first segment is from June 2020. This video is going to be June and July. So for June 2020, the theme that I went with was kind of a mountain scene box theme. You'll see as I go along, and for whatever reason I could not find any of my mini rulers when I was putting this spread together, so I'm using a arcade card that I found. It's not a credit card, so yeah, it was like an arcade game token card thing, and I mean it did the job. Of course it was smaller than even my mini ruler, but make do with what you have. So yeah, going through this video, I have a mixture of my behind the scenes, creating the spreads, and then also just some flip-throughs and close-ups of the spreads as well. And with the June theme, I was trying to also do some kind of more mixed media kind of stuff. So you'll see that I end up using markers and crayons in it, and I haven't used crayons in a spread since this, but I did kind of, it was fun, it was different. I end up coloring in the sky part of these little mountain boxes that I'm sketching out right now. I end up coloring the background again with the crayon, and I did like how it came out. It's kind of a nice contrast of textures between crayon and marker. Alright, so yeah, at this point I'm pulling out my markers, coloring in those mountain scenes. I was trying to go with a slightly different shape for each of them, as you can see, and overall the theme was very blue, green, purple, cool colors, kind of oriented, gray of course, more traditionally colored mountains. I did this theme a little late in the month, so you'll see, I think I only did one weekly spread, possibly. We'll see. Maybe I did two, I don't entirely remember. Whereas then I did July earlier, so July has the full month. For coloring in the mountains, I used the Crayola Super Tips markers. I love those. You'll see later on, I pull out my box. I have a giant box on off of Amazon. You'll see it later when me rooting through trying to find colors. And then for doing outline stuff. Sorry, I'm spacing on words. Doing an outline on the mountains, then I use the Staedtler Tri-Plus fine liners in a 0.3 millimeter. I have a box of 36 of those, and I really like the thickness and the way that those come out. And you can see now, yeah, here's the crayon part. Alright, so now I'm going to get into the weekly spread. So I first drew out my 8 boxes, 7 obviously for the days of the week, and then the 8th one became a mountain scene box. It's kind of a pretty basic, 8-box layout. I feel like these are pretty common. I do one again in my July spread, just to make it pop a little bit more. That I did these little centered boxes up at the top. I guess you could kind of think of it as like a little tape thing, possibly. Yeah, I colored those in with black, and then you'll see later on that I go and take my white gel pen and then wrote in the dates. I struggle with the white gel pen. I have the Sakura, I don't know what tip, but I mean, I think it's the pretty common Sakura gel pen, and I can never get it to write very well on black. Like, it never comes through as well as I want to. It's always really faint, so I'm still trying to master that technique. I have the Archer and Olive acrylograph pens now, and that has a white, so I've been meaning to use that more. Alright, so here's, yeah, my monthly overview spread, just simple 4 boxes with the mountains, and then the weekly spread for the last week of June. I have my mountain scene. I tried to make the mountain look a bit like Mount Hood as best as I could. I think I used a reference photo while sketching that out, since, you know, I do live in Oregon, so yeah. And then I've got my A box for the days. I wrote the date in black box, date below, and then I did kind of a drop shadow kind of thing around the boxes using blues and greens. Alright, that was June. July will be the majority of this video, of course, because as I said, I did all of the weeks of July and I just had the 1 week of June. So for my July theme, I went with donuts, and that was super appropriate for me because we do have a donut business, and this one was really fun. You'll see there is a lot of coloring involved, especially with the spread, but I did really enjoy how this one came out. I had a lot of fun with it, so it was a more time-consuming theme, but I enjoyed it. I would say for the most part, I was pretty satisfied with how my spreads came out. So yeah, so for the July overview page, I have a little calendar below July that you'll see me fill out in a minute here. So this one, of course, is very pink, green, purpley themed. You'll see more of that in the weekly spreads than in the monthly page, but I did make the letters for July pinky purple, and going over them with a little, I guess it's a stroke, outline, stroke, whatever you want to call it right now. But yeah, so I drew a bunch of donuts all over the spread, and those I freehanded all of those. I didn't have a circle tool or anything, which I kind of liked because I feel like that made them look more realistic too, that they were not all perfect. Some of them are a little bit, like lumpier, not perfectly round, which, it gave them character, but I think that they still came out, they're not overly lumpy. Yeah, so I just wrote in a tiny little calendar here, and with these spreads, I used I have a set of, I guess I think they're still Sakura gel pens, but like glittery ones, so I used some like pinky purple ones from that set a bit. Yes, okay, so now I'm getting into the donuts. So after taking care of the July part and the little mini calendar, and I went through and started coloring in all of the donuts with just a base color. We'll glaze them later. I think I had maybe 3 shades of brownie beige cream color, so yeah, I went around and I think at the beginning I was alternating between pens, but then I ended up just picking one pen and going around and picking donuts to color all the ones that would be that color, and then doing the other colors just to kind of make sure I got a more even distribution. And I tried doing one donut in the crack just for the fun of it. That one I think was the hardest to sketch out freehand because the crack kept throwing me off, and that one kept getting really like not even. So yeah, coloring in all the donuts did take a bit of time. I do not have as many donuts on the other spreads, but it was fun, and they're circles, so it was relatively easy. It's not like I was doing tiny little details, just a bunch of circles to have to color in. So yeah, I colored in all of these guys, and then after they are all colored in, then we'll get into the glazing, because I did put a glaze on them. just make them pop more and be more fun. You don't want a bunch of naked donuts. You want a glazed donut. There's something just really satisfying too about watching them get colored in. Especially when the coloring just comes out really smoothly, I feel like. This part where I blocked the camera with my arm. I didn't feel like, I guess I could have just edited that out, but I left it in. Alright, so now we're getting into the glaze. So I picked out a couple of kind of darker colors, just so they would cover up the base donut color well enough. And then I just kind of like drew a little squiggly blobby thing. You'd think kind of like Nickelodeon blobby around the donuts, and then filled that in, and that was the glaze. And that worked pretty well, and I liked how that made them not have like a uniform glaze shape, that they were all a little bit different. Some parts, you know, I went right up to the edge or a little bit over, other parts I didn't, so you can see like that big pink one, there's a little bit that goes over, which, I mean, that would be how glaze would work. Alright, you can see in the close-up of the calendar there that, yeah, it's kind of a maroony glitter. Alright, this is the first of the weekly spreads. I have a little, I did the same 8 box, but this one, for the first box, I did a calendar, and then instead of coloring in the boxes with black, I did it in purple, light lavender. I believe that was a mild liner, and then I did a drop shadow on it. Alright, now for the next weekly spread, this one I switched it up and did a longer box look, and I believe, do I have 6 here? I think I had 6 on this one, so the weekend was in one box, which I do occasionally. I'll like mix it up between having the weekend all in one spot or splitting it, and it kind of depends too if like I know that I'm gonna have a bit going on in a weekend. When I'm doing the spread, then I'll make sure that I split it into 2. If I'm not really sure, sometimes I'll do it as just 1 and do 6, just because I mean it is easier to have 6 boxes than 7. It just divides nicer and it looks obviously more balanced in the spread. So yeah, I did some long boxes for this, and then I colored them in with a purple, which came out brighter than I realized. This is a lot of the Crayola Super Tips. And then after doing the box at the top, then I was using a green to do the side panels. And then I also went in with a black fine liner just to give it a little bit of a shadow, kind of, and a little bit more depth. So yeah, this one was pretty simple. I wasn't entirely happy with the shade of the purpley pink. I guess I thought it was going to be more pink, or at least just not as bright. It was a brighter color than I realized. I probably should have like tested the pen, but it's too late. I committed to it. Alright, so now I have these Crayola dual tip brush pens, which I got before I got Tombows, and I'm going in, I think I was doing that, and then also using mild liners and things too. And I'm going in and putting in some sprinkles, so I was just doing those in like purple and pink and green at the top and the bottom, just so there wasn't quite so much white space. And you know what is a donut theme without a bunch of sprinkles? So the sprinkles were kind of my go-to throughout the month to break up some of that white space. They're super easy, just, you know, doing little lines in different directions and stuff. Alright, so now we are on to our third of the weekly spreads. So this is the last weekly spread that's just 1 week. I have one more, which I did a 2-week side-by-side one, which I hadn't done before, so that was fun to kind of change it up. And that one, yeah, you'll see. I like that one. It was simple, but the sides were a little bit more time consuming. All right. Anyway, so the weekly spread that we're on now, I went in and wrote out each of the days of the week. I did that with the Crayola brush pen that I was talking about. And then after that, I went and took I don't know, probably my 00005 of the pigment microns and traced around the letters on both sides. It's kind of, yeah, I zoomed in at this point, so it's a little bit easier to see. It's kind of hard for me just to describe what exactly it was I was doing. And I wasn't entirely sure how I felt about this at first. If I did like the way that the look came out, or if it just looked kind of wobbly and weird. I think I did like it. And I was trying to do something different with my lettering for this spread. Lettering is definitely something that I'm continuing to work on and want to improve on and just experiment with more. I feel like I've always been someone that hasn't entirely liked their handwriting. So yeah, definitely experimenting more with hand lettering, different styles, and just having different styles of letters come easily to me, because I feel like I have to look at like references a lot. So yeah, that's the goal with that. Okay, now we've got a close-up of the long box spread that I did before this one, just to show close-up. You can see the sprinkles better now too, and also what I meant about the black line as a kind of drop shadowy look too. Alright, and then here's the close-up of this. Well, this one I kept really simple, and I just did the days of the week, writing that out. I didn't do any boxes or any sprinkles or anything like that, and I just did a July and then the dates in the corner, just as a reminder. But that was it. So yeah, this one was probably by far the simplest spread. Okay, I've got a close-up just to kind of show the look of the letters. Alright, so now onto that final weekly spread. And then after this weekly spread, then I do have some flip through and some close-ups of the different spreads. So yeah, so this one, I started off on just the left side, but it does end up becoming a 2-week spread. I just wanted to do the one side first, kind of as a reference, so that way the second side was easier because I could see what I'd already done, and then also if I didn't like something on one side, then I could correct it. Realize I didn't like it before I did it on both sides. But yeah, so this one again was simple in terms of the layout for the days. I just did the 7 boxes going straight down, so kind of narrow but wide little spaces, and I wrote in the dates on the side, and then I have a calendar up at the top that I will fill out with pen, of course, and then I'll highlight the week that it's on, just to kind of see what week we're on and frame of reference to the rest of the month. And then I have a donut next to the line for most of the lines, and of course some of them are blocked by the calendar, but the ones below the calendar each got a donut. And I like the spread. I like at least the layout of this. I mean, I've done spreads like this in subsequent months as well, which you'll see as I go through and edit. So yeah, this is the June-July spread video, and then I plan on doing a August-September. And then, actually, I think I'll probably do August, September, October, because September I didn't really do that much bullet journaling, so I think that I could probably squeeze that into a 3-month one. So doing sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Doing August, September, October, and then November, December, and then we'll be all caught up. And in the meantime, I'll be doing current bullet journal videos as well. I already have June 2021 up, and then February, of course, will be coming next, which I've already started sketching out, so that should be on track, and hopefully I will have it out before the end of January. I think that's totally possible. Alright, so I have I colored in and then glazed the donuts. These ones I kept all pinks and purples, and then I went in and put some sprinkles around the edges as well. So, simple but busy, I guess, would be how I describe this one. I've got a close-up just so you can see. And then now the right side, which I ended up doing the same exact thing with pretty much. Obviously there's no calendar on that side. Alright, and then just a flip through of July. So thanks for watching. Hope you had fun seeing my donut theme and my mountain box theme, and maybe something that you want to try on your own. The mountain box theme was slightly inspired by stuff that I saw on Instagram for the donuts I kind of put together myself. So thanks for watching.